Hey there, what's happening? Welcome to NASCAR Racehub on a Monday. 2 playoff dates in the books. With Danielle Trotta, I'm Adam Alexander. Today's show presented by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. You ready for this?
I'm most ready for our mock presidential debate.
Oh, there's that.
That's the part of the show I'm really looking forward to. For now, though, I know what Harvick is happiest about. Yes, as Adam said, Kevin Harvick punching his ticket to the next round of the chase.
Turns out the closer can still close, and Harvick is indeed happy. So are we. Who's here to talk about it all? David Reagan with us on this Monday, and America's crew chief Larry McReynolds. A title that will mean so much more later in the show. We will explain.
I would vote for either of these gentlemen any day of the week. We are talking about all the big events surrounding yesterday's race at Loudon. It was so exciting. But big picture, guys, what's your big takeaway, the thing that had you most fired up?
Well, I know you may find this strange. These are rule infraction. I am so happy. I've been happy all day.
That's good. It was a good, clean...
Here's my take. I don't think it's that slow. I think 2 races in, you're already seeing separation. You can already really tell who the contenders are and the pretenders.
And one guy that's been to the championship for both years we've had this format, Kevin Harvick. What's he doing now that we're in the playoffs again? He's winning again, and we got some numbers on him.
Strong runs there, though, as we showed you from chasers like Chase Elliott, Jamie McMurray. Where do you see the others falling down the board? Where do they need to improve?
Yeah, these can be precious when the checkered flag falls next week.
We got more with Team Penske later on. First, though, let's take a look at these chase standings. 1 race to go in the opening round of the playoffs weekend, and deliver or you will be eliminated from the chase in 2016.
And, of course, all our numbers are based on...
Everything has to be on the line. You're talking a few points can make a lot of difference in those 7 or 8 points that Jamie lost by finishing 19th instead of a top 10. I'm sure it will be very important this weekend.
For 4 drivers, it's over in Dover.
That line doesn't get old.
Think of that, or what?
Hasn't.
It's original.
I was going to say... Andrew, thank you. Yes, and when you look at the total number of Toyota drivers in the chase, that being with Truex at 5, all are sitting top 10 on the chase grid. Larry, I think we see JGR a bit differently. I feel like even with some bobbles, they're still extremely solid. Truex and Kenseth were the cars to beat yesterday.
Yeah, but I go back to Chicago.
And even though they have some bobbles, they're still extremely solid, as I say, but I know you got to clean up those mistakes as we move forward. What are some areas that you think need improvement?
Well, Andrew Dowd touched on a little bit, penalties, because if we go back to Chicagoland, that's one of the things that pretty much happened to Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth. They got pit road speeding penalties. And then I go back to yesterday, Carl Edwards, and that's all 4 drivers the last 2 races penalized some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, it's hard to win a championship making careless mistakes like that. Something they need to clean up. For Kyle's Camping World Truck Series team, though, all...
What do you do?
I'm not in the flag stand.
He's getting ready.
I'm getting ready for our presidential debate, our mock debate.
Completely missed Independence Day.
Good day. He seemed confident. To me, that was a dejected Joey Logano. He knows they need to run a lot better if they want to compete as these rounds tick off.
Yeah, Team Penske has shown more speed last.
But for Penske, where do they stack up in your mind? How close are they to being the Truexes or the Harvicks, if you will?
I think the whole joke, so they'll be working hard to try to make their cars a little faster.
Speaking of those Hendrick guys, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, both having top 5 cars yesterday. We're focusing on HMS tomorrow because Jimmy's crew chief, Chad Knaus, will be in the house. David, thank you. Come on, Larry, get in the mood.
Hat doesn't look near as good on me as it does you.
So you just
Can I get a salute, Larry? Salute.
Life is good for Harvick, who celebrated his 34th career win yesterday. That broke a tie with Fireball Roberts for 22nd all-time on the NASCAR wins list. An interesting note, everyone ahead of Harvick in all-time wins is either still active or in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So let's look back at how Harvick got it done after starting 19th. It's Winners Weekend.
You know, the one thing I have learned in this chase format last couple of years, margin for error is like that. In 2 weeks in 2016, we have not said one word about the 4 team and the pit crew, you know?
Well, and we talked about Joe Gibbs Racing.
Something I marvel at with Harvick is the mental focus. When Adam talked to him on media day, days before we even raced at Chicagoland, I mean, the guy just gets in a different zone this time of year. Is that a secret ingredient for Kevin Harvick's success?
And I think what he's trying to do is make sure that rubs off on that race team. We talked to him on Victory Lane last night after the race, and he didn't talk about their goals coming to the
Because I think he gets a little antsy, but you know that team's head speed. Rodney Childers is a great leader, and I think Kevin obviously gets the job done in situations that he's asked to rise to the occasion.
And Harvick is one of our options. It's the opening question in our KF.
The 2 years we've had this format. I mean, his last 6 races, 5 top 5s, and a few feet away on pit road at Chicagoland, it may be 6 top 5s had he not got trapped.
The deeper you guys dig on Harvick, the higher the number seems to be going for Jimmy Johnson. Adam, what do you think's behind? It's a bit surprising here. A lot of fans, the majority going for Jimmy.
If we had done this poll 2 weeks ago, I don't think the results would have been this. Johnson has been good early in the playoffs. No love for Joey Logano, and some fans at home think Chase Elliott might be the guy, but it's his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, that fans think will move on.
The day after Harvick wins the race.
I don't get that.
6 times.
The only thing I can figure out is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s teammate. That's the only thing I can figure out.
Dale Jr., the Dale Jr. factor alive and well in our debate. I don't think it works for the second discussion. Here's question number 2. We posed to you at foxsports.com/vote. Who has the best chance for a walk-off win at Dover? Next weekend is an elimination race. Right now, your bottom 4 are your choices. Jamie McMurray, Austin Dillon, Tony Stewart, Chris Buescher, or none. They got to win to advance.
Yeah, I think if anyone can, I'll be the nice guy. I think Tony can come in and do it. Larry's going to be a little meaner, but Tony can come in. He's got the speed in the cars from his teammates' perspective. I think if he and Mike Bugaravich can get together and have a little bit of Sonoma magic. Tony's won it at Dover in
3
recent
championships.
years. That's right. Tony can still get it done. You never count smoke out.
Do I want Tony Stewart to win in advance? Absolutely. I do not see it. Do you realize when we were there in May, who had the best finish of those 4 drivers? Chris Buescher finished 18th. That was the best finish of those 4. I have to go with none.
Stop confusing us with facts, Larry.
It's just never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
44% say Tony Stewart, 37% say
keeping the hope
none.
alive. I like it.
And we've had 8 elimination races in this format. 5 times someone has recorded a walk-off victory. Don't forget on NASCAR Racehub, and I am glad this portion of the show has arrived. You know, the presidential debate is tonight.
Yes.
We've got our own little debate here in the Hub studios. David asks each a question. We'll put 20 seconds on the clock. Each will respond with the first answerer getting a rebuttal. Why don't you go ahead and set us up with that first question?
I'd just like to say it's an honor to help moderate this debate, Adam. Thank you. Larry, first question. We stayed green yesterday at Loudon for 124 laps. The length of that was 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 28 seconds. Michael Waltrip tweeted during that time simply, caution clock. Should the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series use a caution clock?
Absolutely.
That's it, gentlemen, please. That's enough. That's enough. That's on question number 1. We're moving to question number 2. Big announcement for NASCAR last week. Only one level of infraction when it comes to the laser post-race, okay, when you fail the laser post-race. So here we go. It was a P4. Is that penalty too harsh? $65,000, 35 points, 3-race suspension for the crew chief, and you could lose a win. What do you think?
It's not.
Which chase format was more difficult to win a championship? And we had 10 races doing it by points, or what we went to a couple of years ago, this elimination style. Larry McReynolds.
Yeah,
one shot to win the championship. You could finish 4th or 1st if you have a good homestead.
Mr. Reagan, it's been a healthy, spirited, and respectful debate. As part of our closing arguments, we pose you both the same question. Larry, please lead us. First, your answer to this question. What would you do in your first day as president of NASCAR?
Well, the first thing...
I wonder if they'll be sporting any costumes like these two.
Probably
Larry?
not, but ask AJ what happened after the race. I saw a little fireworks between him and the 31 car.
Oh,
so
no,
that
this
would be
is
good.
breaking news, David. What did you see?
Yeah, they were beating and banging. I think AJ spun the 31 out after the race, so
wow.
you might want to check into that.
You waited until this much time
This is
in the show to
juicy.
tell us that.
All I know is my campaign trail is moving up to Dover, Delaware, where your biggest competitor will be that racetrack.
You guys look great, by the way. The suspenders, Larry, you got to keep those, all right?
I'm ready to start the
Hold on,
racing.
it's more of a necessity they are.
See you tomorrow.